Hey guys, in case you were wondering what's involved in maintaining a pistol like this, it's really super simple. This is a very easy gun to break down and clean. First thing obviously is you get the bullets out of it. Take it apart. There's this part here. It has a little plastic deal on the end. Okay. There's a spring. Goes into this little deal here. According to Smith & Wesson, that's all you take apart. You don't take apart any of this stuff. And then all you do, I like to use a bore snake. Okay. And my favorite cleaning goop is this crap here, which is Pro Shot, One Step. And it's a very thin red oil. I like to get some of it around the feed ramp, and then I just put some inside the bore, not much, let it run down it. And this is really good for removing powder residue, but you don't want to go crazy with it. I just get in there with a toothbrush. You can clean the spring, obviously, put a little bit of goodies on there. You can clean the rod. I don't see the point in this. Stuff does not get that dirty. Clean the firing pin and ejector. All that as best you can. Get some of that in there. The main thing is you don't want to overdo your lube, because you got to remove all the lube you put in there. Some people like CLP, some people like break free. I've got that too. But mainly, I use the bore snake. And you want to start at the chamber. Pretty simple. This is big enough to do my .22 rifle too. And you just feed it through. You can see the oil starting to drip through there. And you just pull it. And I give it a couple. It has everything on it. It has bristles. It has the patch. It has this place that cleans it after it's gone through. And what I do is just feed it through. Drag it through. Do it a couple times. That's it. And it's clean as a whistle now inside. And then all this stuff, I'm just going to get at it with a toothbrush. Clean all the goop out of there. And then at the very end, I put a very light amount of break free right in here, or dry slide, or whatever I want. I kind of like break free. CLP is break free is pretty good stuff for keeping things clean and rust free and lube. The dry slide's nice because it isn't goopy, but I've used a tiny amount, so it doesn't really matter. And then you just put it back together. I thought I'd get right in close so you could see the parts really well. This is plastic. Nothing to it. You can take that apart, but Smith & Wesson says not to. You don't need to. What I do is I just get in there and I loosen up all the carbon all the way in the slide so it'll slide real nice. I loosen it up, and then I take the microfiber and I just, get in there and just remove all the excess oil and whatnot. Get in there and get that all out of there. You can use the handle of the toothbrush to rub this around and get it nice and cleaned up. Clean all the carbon fouling off of there. Now, after a whole bunch of shooting, you may see some carbon buildup in there right around the ejector. You can get in there with a soft piece of metal, like a little piece of brass or silver. I have a very small silver wire I like to reach into tiny places and poke crud out with. The silver is actually pretty hard, but not hard enough to scratch metal. Get that all nice and clean. And get some of the crud off of this little plastic. This is kind of a disposable part. It eventually wears out. But I've actually shot 3,000 rounds through this gun without that being an issue. Only goes on one way. The little curvy part goes back like that. And you can see the spring is kind of one shape. It's not one way or another. It's, it's the same on each end, so it doesn't really matter. And get a little cleaner on that, right? And sometimes I like to put up just a little bit of dry slide on that after it's all done. Okay. Get in here. Okay. Parts of the gun that tend to foul. Okay. Right in here. Like that. Now you can take the grips off and get in all the little parts that are underneath the grips and stuff, but for some just regular maintenance, not deep cleaning, that's all I do. And just get in there, get everything cleaned up as best I can. Now if I start having problems with the trigger not setting nice or it doesn't feel right, that means there's powder all around the trigger gubbins, and then I get in there a little bit better and clean it a little more deeply, take the grips off and everything. But you don't really need to do that. Now you'll see just how easy this thing goes back together. Okay, this part I like to go from below, slide it up in there. Okay, this goes onto this part right here. That's where this little deal goes. I'm try and get this into the camera frame as best I can, but it's so simple, it's just ridiculous. It's not rocket science. Okay, slide the slide all the way back and lock it in place. Okay. Okay, so once it's locked in place, like this, okay, and it's out of your way, then I'm going to put the camera a little further back now. Okay, so you guys can see what I'm up to again. Then you just catch this on the back, and you push the pin in. Okay, and you cycle it a few times to make sure it's right. Okay, everything's back in. That's it. Don't have to take the optics or the flashlight off. You don't have to do hardly anything to it. And I like to wipe all the fingerprints off of it before I put it away. And now my gun is clean and ready to shoot again. And that's how quick it is to clean the Smith 22A-1. That's one of the reasons I like it, because I shoot a lot, so I like a gun that's easy to clean. Now I want to show you where you lube it. According to Smith, you're not really supposed to put a lot of lube on this gun. You're supposed to put a little bit right there and right there. So what I do is I use my dry slide. Okay, you gotta shake it up until the little ball's rattling around, because it's basically a bunch of graphite in suspension. And if you don't shake it up, the graphite doesn't come out very much. And I put just a drop along the slide there, like that. And drop along the slide there. Yep, just like that. Close it, cycle it a few times. That's it. That's all you're supposed to do. The dry slide's real nice because it runs down that whole slide, so it lubes the whole length of it. Again, wipe it off, get the fingerprints off of it, and you can put it away. That's it. Now the Remington 870 is super simple to clean. There's not a lot of lube on it. As a matter of fact, you don't want to lube a lot of it because you'll just collect grit and crud. You take off this ratcheting knob, you pull the barrel, okay, I like to use some of this one step. What I do is I run the barrel like this, and I just let it run down the barrel. And what I do is I usually prop it up on something so it'll roll down it a little bit. Let that be doing that, okay? In the meantime, there's no reason to take any of this apart. Inside, it never gets dirty. There's nothing going on in here that's going to get dirty unless you dropped it in the mud or something. So that's it. That's pretty much all you do to it. You might want to inspect it, make sure it doesn't have any surface rust on it. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll take, my toothbrush that has a little CLP on it, and I'll just rub it all over the parkerized finish, just to make sure that I leave a little break free all over it. This rag has always had break free on it, so that's what that's for. Wipe it down. Okay. Look down there and see if the oil has gone around through it. I see a few specks of powder and whatnot. Okay, I'm going to make sure I'm still in frame here. Yeah, okay. All I do is I just run this wire brush down it. No big deal. Run that down it a few times. I don't even bother with a patch. What I use is I use this big fluffy wand, which is coated with silicone. Okay. Same deal. The barrel. I like to this brush has always had CLP on it in general. That's what I use it for. Wipe down the whole barrel. Okay, wipe the whole gun down. Okay, put it back together, which is incredibly simple to do. Except I'm not holding it right to be able to do it. Alright, okay. There's nothing to it. Put this on till it's tight. Okay, cycle it. Sometimes you might want to put a little bit of lube on here, but honestly, the more lube you put on it, the dirtier it's going to get. The best bet is just to keep it clean and rust-free, and that's it. That's maintenance. That's it. That's all you do. Very easy gun to keep clean. Again, another gun I love to shoot a lot, and it's easy to clean. Well, if you're a guy like me that likes to shoot, there's nothing better than a Saturday when the wife is home watching the kids. Kids are inside, cat is inside, no animals outside, so you can be outside shooting and not worry about anything. It was a good day for me. I did a lot of different kinds of shooting today and enjoyed it. And I hope you enjoyed some of my videos, and if you do, subscribe, comment, and rate. Thank you.